Hello everyone. I am finally back. I decided today I was gonna go ahead and upload a YouTube video, just doing a quick synopsis of my thoughts for the week. I think I might start trying to pick this up again, and post kind of my daily thoughts. I already do it in somebody else's Discord, so I thought, why not just post in itself and basically write out everything, but through a video, not really caring about the viewership or who this goes to. Um, so let's basically get right into it. The first thing I want to go into is essentially the news that's going to be coming out for the week. So we do have on the 28th, which is Monday. I have everything written down here on a board. On the 28th, on Monday, we have nothing. On the 29th, we do have JOLTS and consumer confidence. On the 30th, we have US GDP, PCE. On the 1st of May, we have jobless claims, manufacturing PMI. And on the 2nd, which is on the Friday, we have non-farm payroll. So we do have quite a few news coming out. The thing that I want to go ahead and preface stating before is Monday there is no news. So one thing that kind of I think about when there is no news and the way that we're kind of moving with this type of price action is I think that we're probably going to be going and getting a steady grind again. Kind of how, here, I'll just share with you. Kind of how like Thursday and Friday was of this week. So let me just pull up a 5-day. Here's kind of Thursday's grind right here on ES. And you can kind of see essentially right through here. We just kind of grinded all Thursday. And not very much selling pressure at all. And then leading into Friday, right? Leading into Friday right here. And I'll go to a 2-minute chart. Leading into Friday, it was kind of the same thing. Kind of 10 a.m. Of course, we had like a little flush out on ES. And then just quickly rebid it over pre-market lows and then continued higher. So here's what I would be expecting, to be completely honest, paying attention to this daily chart. This looks like a bullish hammer candle. Obviously, we all know that hammer candles are bullish. So personally, I would expect the ES to kind of just grind back up to kind of this supply area here. I think the ES is probably going to be filling in this gap. This is a gap down just for what it's worth. We gap down here, and I think the ES is going to be pushing kind of to that 5,584 mark. And basically trying to go for its 50 daily SMA, which is right here. We have the 50 daily right at 566.265. I think that we're probably going to be gunning towards that area. And that area is going to be a huge determining factor as to where the market heads. I think this whole area right here, because we have the 100 SMA daily right above, and then we have the 200, which is the yellow line, if I can find it on my chart right here. We have the 200. I don't know why this one's not dotted, by the way. We have the 200 right under it. So there's a death cross essentially in the market. We have the tariff news coming out. We have Trump. You never know when he's going to release a tweet. So you can't really ever trust the market in any one direction. But I do think that we're going to probably see Monday going up a little bit higher. We closed out strong. The issue that I stated in the Discord is what I don't like seeing. What I don't like seeing in futures, because gaps get filled. I don't like seeing this gap not be filled early. This gap right here where my mouse is kind of crossing, this is a gap up. This is I believe it was Tesla's earnings. This is the day right after Tesla's earnings. And yeah, we gapped up essentially. So I'm a little hesitant. I think that obviously we formed a really good higher low. Look at this higher low right here. We formed a nice higher low from these wicks. We bottomed out. But as you can see, I mean, we can clearly have some lower high action coming in here. You know, just draw this across and you'll see that, I mean, this can clearly reject. And that's a big problem. So I'm not paid here to guess what the market's going to do. I'm here to react to what the market's going to do. I do think that we head up higher into Monday. And news throughout the week can definitely change the outcome of the futures market. I'm mainly going to go over ES. I don't really find NQ too interesting. I don't trade it. Like, sometimes I'll go ahead and I'll trade NQ. But it's very, very rare that I go out of my way to trade NQ. I'm not a huge fan of trading it. I think that it exhausts a lot of people out. I think just ES is significantly better as a trader than NQ, obviously. Now that we're done basically with ES, I guess we can go ahead and go with SPY, even though SPY is going to be the same exact thing, really. I mean, it's almost the same exact. I mean, we have the gap up. Everything kind of looks the same. So you want to be, you want to be paying attention, first and foremost, to this gap fill. You want to be paying attention because we're heading straight to that gap fill. You want to see what's going to happen once that gets filled. And you want to see if the market is essentially going to head straight to the 50 daily moving average and fail off of it. Remember, these are descending moving averages, right? They're coming down, which means that there's pressure on the market. So what I think is going to happen here is, I don't get paid to think, but I like to think, and I like to, form biases and stuff like that. Not that I get married to my bias, because price action changes everything, right? So I don't get married to these theses that I formulate in my head, but when the price action shows me my thesis, I am that much more ahead. I can think clearly when when the trade is on. I'm in it. If it obviously kind of goes in with my bias. So I think SPY is going to head for this gap fill. I think we have the daily SMA descending. We have the 200 descending. We have the 100 descending. All pops. Listen, if you can get pops into the 50 daily and you see kind of us channeling, and it's starting to struggle and fade, pop against, the 50 day, there's a good chance that there's people just selling. You're going to get a lot of people, a lot of retail, right? Bulled up because they're saying, oh, this is a higher low and we might V-shape all the way back up here. We can. But I don't think we're going to do that with the 90-day pause tariff news that's currently out. Like, it's just not, it's not going to do that, because what if hypothetically speaking, right? Let's say we end up here, right? All the way up there before the 90 days. What if the tariff pause comes out and it's like they didn't make any good deals? There's no deals on it. And then Trump goes on his Twitter rant. It completely negates the whole move. So my opinion, I think that we move up to these moving averages, and I think we may start to fade off a little bit. And here are some names that I'm interested in. If we do get the fade, I do want to state that the first name I'm going to bring up is a relatively strong name. So we're going to pull up PLTR. This name is very, very strong. As you can tell, I mean, it's above the 50, the 21, the 10, the 200, the 100. It's above every single moving average. This is not a name that I want to get in front of. It's very clear that this is a relatively strong name. It's very, very clear. I don't want to front run this thing, but what I'm hoping for is we get a huge, I mean, I would love to see a parabolic move, get up to 120s, 125s, even past it, all-time highs. Even get past it. And I would want to see price action speed up. And essentially, there's going to be that one day where you get a big exchange. and you get a nice flush out. And that's what I would be hoping for on PLTR. Until that happens, this is just a radar name, right? Like I'm not interested in trading this name just to trade this name on a short. It's just not gonna happen. It's way too strong. I just want to be open to the possibilities that people who are longing could start being trapped, right? So this is a relatively strong name. This is something that I'm gonna be patient and wait on for that reversal. I unfortunately wasn't able to get long around here, so that's something that I am looking at. I also want to go ahead and talk, because I've been ranting in the Discord that I'm in, essentially on Netflix, and this name is a clear leader in the market. This is a clear leader. There is no shorting this name. You don't short this name at all, ever, right now. And the reason why I say that is simply because this name is not stuck behind tariffs. This name, Netflix does not care about tariff news. It doesn't affect the company. Now, that doesn't mean that when NQ, like let's say hypothetically Trump comes out and states, oh, tariffs are, we're having some sort of bad news, right, with tariff negotiations. Doesn't mean that this name won't pull back, because it definitely will. If NQ, QQQ, SPY starts pulling back, this name's going to pull back too. But I think it's going to hold stronger than a lot of other names. This is a name that you just long on dips. There is no need to look at Netflix and say, oh, this name can't go higher. This is one of the only names at 52-week highs. Like, there's no need to try to find the top on this name. This is the name you want to, or the company you want to be long in. Like, on all dips, if you're going to day trade it, you get dips and you can day trade it for a nice surge up. Maybe you take it for a swing. Maybe you got some options. That's how I view Netflix. I'm definitely not trying to short that name. I think that name is going to be a sector leader. It's going to be a tech leader. It's just a leader in the market. It just is. Now, we do have Nvidia here. I think Nvidia is looking nice as well. Nice higher low. We're getting some bullish action. Friday, we had a very, very nice little parabolic move here. And all dips, as you could tell, I mean, you could just draw a trend line. I mean, it's just like, it was a nice, very nice kind of move. It felt just very computery, very systematic. AVGO felt the same way, but the thing that I liked about AVGO is you had the 50 daily here, and it was just resting, consolidating, and then moved up. I think that basically a lot of these names, if you can get nice little dips on some of these names, I mean, all is basically tech. If you get some dips, intraday on Monday, I think you can have a good long opportunity. Maybe we get an inside day. So if we slide down to like previous day low or a little bit lower, you might have some good action on some of these names. Let me see where MU's at. MU's gonna be listen. This name is weak. If you wanted to short a semi that's coming into descending moving averages and a strong channel that it broke out of, this is the name you want to look at. This is a very good opportunity for a very good possible short, all within this range. Look how long we spent here. Between 110 down to like 85, 83. Look how long we spent here. And we just broke out of it. We can simply just be getting a retest to flush right back out. And remember, descending 50, descending 100, descending 200. I am not interested in longing anything under the 200 unless it's for like a microscopic like swing opportunity. Other than that, just not interested in the move. I definitely like this for a possible short op on, let's give it 85. I mean, I already have my price alerts. This is a main watch. This is 100% a main watch. Because if this fails this level, we can see a nice rotate down. You know, who's to say we don't fill in this gap at 70? Who's to say? Tap in, you know, daily 50, maybe even around this area, and reject. Very, very good opportunity there. I think AMD's kind of in that same situation. Yeah, AMD's coming into kind of that same situation where we have some lows that it currently it looks a little bit stronger than MU in the sense that this didn't channel the way that MU did for that time frame. You know, this has just been steady down as well. All moving averages obviously descending. You never want to be really long descending moving averages. I know people love to pick bottoms and say, I told you so. I'm not one of those people. I don't want to be in things that are relatively weak when there's things that are relatively strong in the market. It makes no sense. You know, how many people? I'll go ahead and show Netflix one more time because this is something people need to understand. How many people are like, yo, this cannot go further? There's probably a lot of people who are thinking, oh, 52 weeks high. I mean, how many days is it going to be able to consecutively break that? It doesn't have to consecutively break it. What if it starts just consolidating above its previous high? What if it just comes back and consolidates for the next move higher? Something to think about. You know, just something to think about. I would rather be in something like that. You know, you pull up gold. I actually shorted on this day. I was short here. I made a good amount of money here. It was a parabolic move essentially. And we ended up, I say we because I'm in IU, which is Investors Underground. But essentially, I was able to get short here, got a nice little move down. And as you can see, ascend. This, you know, we're talking about descending moving average. This is ascending. 200. What is this? The 100, 50, 21, and the 10. It's ascending. You know, these are going up. You know, so just things to really think about when you're looking at this market. We have Meta here. It's kind of broke out of this little consolidation. I wonder why I have this whole area marked. So you pull up a 4 hour. Okay, so it's these kind of wick bottoms. You know, I had a top here. Kind of looks like flagging a little bit, right? Looks like a little bit of a bull flag possibly. Right, kind of got that pole. And then then it kind of like dips a little bit, and then if it holds kind of these higher lows, you get that little flag formation, right? Meta could be interesting. Maybe any dips against 540 for a possible long opportunity. As you can see, we have, you know, this low here, this high here, this high here. Got this huge pop. I think that's the parabolic move that we ended up having where the market went absolutely crazy and moved like, I think like 12% or something on the day. I think that might have been that move. Yeah, it is. Okay. One thing I want to, now that I'm actually looking at this, one thing I want to go ahead and inform you guys is on that huge parabolic move, you know, that I'm looking at Meta, which I think Meta could be a good long opportunity into Monday. Look at NVIDIA. You know, it's not there yet, but I think AVGO was. You see? AVGO is above this area. So I would say if you're going to trade like semi names and things like that, Broadcom is something you kind of want to be looking at for possible dips against the high of that ridiculous day that we had. If you can get some dips into this and into the daily 50 and it holds, you could be looking into a move slightly into 200, which I think that this would be a good short opportunity. Being the 100 daily SMAs there, I think that it could cause a little bit of a hindrance. I don't know how much it's willing to do, but that name is looking like a relatively strong name as well. Just not, it's not Netflix or anything. What else do we have? We have TSM. Just going across a little bit of my watch list. I'm not really interested in TSM. This is usually one of my favorite things to trade. In terms of like the semiconductors, I think everyone should probably own this. This is not financial advice, by the way. I think everyone should probably own this, own that name. I think Warren Buffett's invested in it as well, which is always a plus when he's invested. Let's see. Oh, Google just had earnings. A little dip. Little dip into it had a nice up move, but it was retracing on Friday. It stayed heavy under VWAP basically almost the whole day. I was up nice and early at 7, and I did want to short this area because it did enter a supply and it just couldn't get over. I should have shorted anywhere from 7 a.m. and down. It was a nice clean move. Just didn't though. Nice little kind of double top too at the supply area on the 4-hour. This is going to be a big area. The daily 200's right there as well. Just rejected the daily 50. We're over the 10 and the 21 moving average, which is like kind of the quad Maggie moving averages. We're pushing 20 minutes into this video, so I want to go ahead and complete basically my video. Let's see what we have. Did we check Apple out? I don't know if we... Amazon. Let's do Amazon. See what's Amazon's. Oh my God, dude. This is just... I mean, listen. This is supply here. You look at these lows here. Low, low, low. Broke over. Failed. Pop. Failed. Popped. Kind of failing now. Daily 50 up here. Daily 200 here. Daily 100 up there. Descending moving averages. I don't know. I think that if you wanted a short, you wait for a pop towards like 191-ish to 192 and see if that area wants to reject. And if you see rejections come in, you can step in and kind of, short. Let's see how the daily looks. Yeah, I mean, I see no problem if listen, this is the highs right here. This is the highs. So if it can't get above these highs of that parabolic move that we had, that insane move, I mean, I would assume that we come back down. We got to get above those. I think this was a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. But we got to get above, I mean, all of these candles, we got to get above this one. If we can't get above this day, it's going to be an issue. With that being said, that's kind of what I'm prepared for Monday. I think I'm going to do this each and every day because, like I said, I already do write-ups in a Discord that I'm in. And there's no need for me to do these write-ups when I can just release a YouTube video, go over everything. I don't write anything down. I kind of just ramble and go with it. So if you enjoy that, I mean, feel free to stick around, subscribe, like the video. I hope you guys found some value out of it. I will go into more details further down when I kind of get used to being on the camera again. But other than that, quick breakdown just to go back over. 28th on Monday, there's no news. 29th, Tuesday, there's Joe's and consumer confidence. The 30th, we have U.S. GDP and PCE. The 1st of May, we have jobless claims, manufacturing PMI. And then Friday, we have non-farm payroll. So, as I stated, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more systematic buying into Monday, going into Tuesday. So, my biases essentially would be just like all dips on relatively strong names. Like, I mean, what are we looking at? Like PLTR. PLTR, I'm not interested in shorting this name, which means that any dips, I might be interested in longing, right? Netflix, obviously, this is the strongest name on the market. It's not even close unless you're trading gold. What was the other one? AVGO. AVGO on all dips. All dips that can soak over this area. Basically, the daily 50. I like it. Actually, I'm going to place price alerts on this name. We'll get like, I mean, what are we looking at? We'll do the highs here. We'll look at something like this. And I like to set my price alerts for what it's worth at 10. I'm not a fan of early trades. I really want the market to formulate its trend before I rush into anything ridiculous. I don't want to get caught in something, even though honestly, Trump doesn't give a shit. Like, let's just be real. He don't give a shit where the market, he'll come out and tweet something that completely shifts everything. So you can't even be like, oh man, let me wait the first 45 minutes just in case news is out or whatever. It's not even that. It's just throughout the day. You just have to be aware that he is capable of shifting this market on any given day at any given time. Be prepared. I think crowd was relatively strong too recently. Oh my god, yeah, it is. Oh my god. Wow. Crowd is strong. This could be an interesting name on some dips. Maybe towards 400. I mean, dude, how far do we... I mean, I don't even think we get down there, to be completely honest. I don't think we get down there Monday. Tesla? Ooh, Tesla. Tesla, nice surge. Over these highs. Over these highs, I like it. Let me set these price... Sorry. Let me set these price alerts here at this demand area. Let me do that really quick here. I like this, possibly. Set the timer. You guys already know. Make sure. I want to just make sure market's formulating a trend and above these levels here. So I like to get the top and the bottom of these ranges. And that's kind of what I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for dips to purchase, to possibly purchase and go long on Mondays. Considering there's no news, it can be another systematic buying day like Thursday, Friday, Monday. Into Joe's consumer confidence, GDP, jobless claims, manufacturing PMI, and non-foreign payroll. We also have Trump at any given point. He can come out and say, "Oh man, we're having trouble with China tariffs," and the whole market shifts. So just keep that in mind, man. We are in descending moving averages. Be smart. That's my little game plan, my little synopsis of what I'm looking at. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. I will probably be doing this every single day. And I want to leave you guys with a quote, because based off how we're currently moving, you know, I read a lot of day trading books, and I've read Reminiscence of a Stock Operator by Jesse Livermore. I actually own the book. It's in the back. He has a saying where there's a time to short the market, a time to long the market, and a time to go fishing. Look how we're moving currently. These are some good moves, right? After, you know, these are good moves, but this started to tighten up a little bit. Ask yourself, is it worth trading? You know, is it worth trading when the move, you know, let's say you're hypothetically someone who wants to short the market. Why not just let it get up here? Why not just let it get up to 5662? You don't have to trade every single day. If you're someone who thinks we're going to go ahead and dip on Monday and then, you know, systematic buying steps in, let it drop. Let it come down a little bit. Maybe test these highs, you know, the Wednesday highs again. And then buy. You know, depending on your biases and what you're seeing price action do. You don't have to trade every single day. You know, this might be a time to just sit back, allow price action to do what it does. You know, come back. You might see this gap get filled and then start basing to head higher. And you might see this surge up here and start rejecting the daily 200. Just keep that in mind. You don't have to trade every day. Let the market come to you. Trade your plan. Be smart. And I'll go over one more thing just because I have time. The VIX. One important thing about the VIX that I think a lot of people should know is the VIX does fill its gaps like all the time. Now, it's not a matter of if it gets filled. It's a matter of when will it get filled. We have this 2239 area that looks like it's about to be filled right down here. And then we have another little gap up here. But look at this huge gap that we left up here. You know, this kind of matches that thesis that I have where we can see the market head up, which will bring the VIX down, right? If there's no volatility, you know, the VIX could come down if we're just kind of systematically grinding up. This could come down, fill this gap. And then you can have some sort of news come out. Volatility comes right back into the market, and then it fills this gap as well. So just be on the lookout. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys probably on Monday night heading into Tuesday to let you guys know what my Tuesday watch list is going to be. I'll probably do a better job at, you know, maybe more concise thoughts. But I kind of like the way that I just kind of flow, you know, without having anything written. So that's about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We have been together here for 30 minutes. If you guys have watched the whole video, I appreciate that. I'm out of here. Take it easy, guys.
Peace.